Okay, so we are going to be using four colors actually for this painting. I have used turquoise. The first one I removed was turquoise. This is the second one, ultramarine blue. And the third one that you see is a reddish color that I've removed. Along with that, you can use a little bit of blackish color somewhere. We are going to give a basic wash, turquoise का basic wash, turquoise या light blue color का basic wash हम देंगे पूरे कार के ऊपर, leaving the glass part like the windshield and the windows, so and the wheels. So you can just have a look at that. Now, before you do this, there is another video that you have to see where I have mentioned where you have to do the blue and where you have to leave the white and where you have to do the darker blue. Just go through that also once so that you understand, because a lot of this is very intuitive, where to put color, where to not put color. I've tilted so that all the water falls down and I get a solid wash. You can see the color on the palette, it's really dilute and there's not a lot of color. Make it very light, as much light, only इससे भी light कर सकते हो तो करो. Make it very light. Now I've added a little ultramarine blue along with turquoise, and I'm just wherever, this side of the car is a little darker. So if you see the image of the car, the light is from the other side. तो यहाँ पे मुझे थोड़ा dark color चाहिए, so I've just put थोड़ा darker shade to bring a little bit of variation in the surface. But like you can see, the lines are being seen. So what I've decided then, because I'm getting a patch, I decided to give another wash over the previous wash. You don't have to do it. If you do it at one go, it's not really important. मुझे solid color चाहिए था, इसके लिए वापस किया मैंने. Now वहाँ पे color collect हुआ, so I'm just lifting some colors. It may not be required for you. Now here I'm trying, wherever मैंने आपको video में जो बोला you have to leave white areas, I didn't leave those as white or lighter blue, so I'm trying to lift color. So you can either leave it all together or you can lift it like this. I think leaving would be better. So this is the first stage, and then you let it dry completely. Now we are going to begin the layer 2, where I've used ultramarine, again diluted version, and आपको जो video भेजा था उसमें you have to, this stage is a little important, where you have to know where to put the darker color. So like I told you, you leave a little bit of light blue at places where you want the highlights. So you can just, a lot of it is very intuitive and approximate. It's not ekdam same to same. So you can just look at where I'm putting and do the similar thing. You can notice over here, you can also use थोड़ा, किधर थोड़ा ज़्यादा पानी, किधर थोड़ा ज़्यादा color, bring in a little variation, don't make it very flat. So आपने आगे वाला जो देखा, that I've made a little darker, but these ones are a little lighter. Okay, so you can easily just जहाँ पे मन कर रहा है, you can, it's very intuitive, and put wherever you want to. Not necessary, there is no set rule. Now here I am, the whole that side of the car, I am making it a little darker so that the highlights रह जाएगा. उसमें भी you can see कि मैंने अभी सिर्फ पानी लिया, and at some places I'm putting colors, and at some places I've used a little color over here, and at some places I'm just leaving water and mixing it with water. The moment you do that, you start getting some gradations, and those are the fun part in painting. Over here I haven't left the white above the wheel. You have to, please don't forget to leave that. If you can, it'll be nice. Now this area is below the horizontal. I don't know what it's called, but the place next to the number plate. So it's that area which is एकदम darker, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर वाला एक there is a thing that comes out. It's protruding out. So you can put a darker shade नीचे. Now I'm making a little more darker. I've added a little bit of reddish color, very little reddish color, where I want some more darker area. So this is the third part where I want more darker areas. So slowly by layer, you can start putting wherever you feel are the darker shades. Now I think I'm going to make this whole patch a little more darker because I was feeling it's too light. I was not getting the kind of gradation that I wanted. So I've made another layer. It's a light layer only. There's not a lot of pigment. पानी उतना ही है जितना पहले यूज़ किया था, बट दूसरा एक लेयर आ गया और डार्कर टर्कोइज कलर थोड़ा कम हो गया और अल्ट्रामरीन थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया in this case. So just to make it look like this is in the shaded area. Okay, so here we are adding red, blue and red. Okay, and we're making a darker shade, less water and more color. And this we are going to use for wheels instead of black color, so that the entire painting looks of the same family and the wheels don't look absolutely bright or starkly different. So I'm just going to use now water to mix that color so that you can see the actual color. It's purplish. So at places you can just use the water to kind of blend so that it doesn't look very solid and it looks like it has some kind of curvature, some kind of variation. You can do that with similarly with the wheel behind. We are also going to use this color to make those lights and some other details, this very dark color. So आपका ये जो आगे का lights है उसमें कुछ कुछ part light blue छोड़ के you can just give some lines. You can take a look, very very indicative. Don't try and copy every line. Just give a very indicative kind of a thing. The other light उसके नीचे fog light बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं? So now you'll start giving detailings, and these are completely you may look at some things, you may avoid some things. This part also I'm using, instead of a black color I'm going to use the same color that I used for wheel, and I'm going to leave beach mein some part. Now this part, this rectangular part is protruding out. तो उसके पीछे का एक line है जो थोड़ा distance पे है, which you will see in the image also and the one that I'm making right now. So that kind of gives an effect of it looking like it's protruding out. Again here I'm using only ultramarine blue and काफ़ी लाइट है, बट इट इज़ वो जो आगे का पाइप है, क्या बोलते हैं उसके ऊपर का डिटेल है. So you can take a good glance at where the light is there, where the light is falling, where it is dark, and then you go ahead and put darker shades. Also, you can see the beach mein I've just put some darker dots. Now I've used turquoise color, and this is for wheels ke andar ka part, where again it's very indicative. Don't try and copy every line, every part. Just see where the highlights are, where the mid tones are, and just put those colors approximately, and you're good to go. So this is the lighter color that I'm trying to put, and I'm leaving the white areas. ऊपर का कुछ एक part है, नीचे का कुछ part है. The other colors I'm just putting in. So I'm going to do the same thing with पीछे वाला wheel. अभी थोड़ा और हाईलाइट के लिए आई एम जस्ट लिफ्टिंग कलर ताकि मेरे को और वेरिएशन मिले कुछ. I hope you all know what lifting color is, where you just wash your brush, remove all the water, and just lift color from the paper and wipe it. There's a darker line over there, so I had forgotten that, so I'm just adding. And this is ultramarine blue, a very thin brush that I've used, and that I've used to bring that beach kite line and highlight wherever required. So just some lines here and there. Now for the windshield, windows and windshield, I've used black color and एकदम light. You can see how much water is there. बहुत ज़्यादा पानी use करना है because we don't want it to become black. Okay, so we just want to put some colors and just let it flow. ये भी ज़्यादा dark ही है तो I've just put here and there and अभी मैं पानी से ही पूरा उसको mix कर रही हूँ ताकि थोड़ा सिर्फ लगे कि कुछ है ऐसा सम ग्लास काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग इज देयर एंड इट्स नॉट रियली एम्प्टी सो यू कैन डू दैट विथ ऑल द थ्री ग्लास एरिया दैट यू हैव इसमें आई जस्ट पुट वाटर और फिर वेट ऑन वेट टेक्निक यूज़ करके वेर आई जस्ट ट्राई टू पुट सम कलर just so that it looks like there's something. बहुत लाइट करना है बहुत ज़्यादा पानी यूज़ करना है Now here there's a rear view mirror that I wanted to add but I didn't want it to become very strong. So while it was still wet मैंने डाल दिया वो किधर blend भी होने वाला है but I think I'm okay with that. And then some more color. This is ultramarine that I just put on windshield. This is thoda dark black wala area where I'm just using it to at some places to highlight the shape of the wheel. Now all these colors in the windshield or ऊपर के part में they're still the paper is still wet and I've just put some colors to highlight that ऊपर वाला line. वो विंडशील्ड और ऊपर का रूफ का कलर सेम हो रहा था तो इसके लिए आई थॉट आई मेक इट अ लिटिल डार्कर a lot of it is there's like no rule and बहुत तभी का तभी डिसीजन जैसे जो लग रहा है उसके हिसाब से लिया now this is for shadow under the wheels. You can entirely skip this area. But I wanted to give some kind of a shadow. So I've mixed all the colors that were there, used a lot of water. Use ultramarine blue if you have. Don't use turquoise. Shadows, अगर आपका गाड़ी red color है, orange color है, कोई भी और color है, make sure your shadow is blue. So I was just figuring out, I really didn't know. I just knew that the light is from the other side. So the shadow will be on this side. So I've just tried to do something and then because it did not look the way I wanted it to look. So the values of the shadow and the car is becoming same. So it's looking very similar. And that is something I didn't like at all. So आगे का जो decisions है मेरा, they're really based on how this is looking. And you may entirely skip this and just leave it white. But here, this is actually the fun wala part where I'm throwing some color, allowing it to fall down, etc., etc. But you can see now the value of the car and the shadow is becoming same. So I didn't want that. I really didn't want that to happen. So I decided that I'm going to use a darker color for the shadow below. And that's where a little black add karke, blue add karke, very little. Na? This is looking dark, but it's not as dark as it looks. But I'm just highlighting, just गाड़ी के नीचे का part, just making it dark, such that the wheels have almost gotten mixed with the shadow underneath. So you can see what I do aage, what happens. Maybe I'll not just talk, you can just have a look. Now here it's interesting, when I was putting water, I realized that all the blue color is falling down. Okay, it's falling down. So the shadow that I was getting was very weird. I wanted the shadow at an angle. So I had to clear some areas, and then I had to tilt it at the diagonal. So you can see now trying to tilt it towards the diagonal so that the shadow falls according to the light that I've shown. Here, I think I was happy with whatever was looking. Maybe the wheels had got merged, but then I decided I'll let it dry and then I'll take a decision कि क्या करना है. So then I think I decided that let me merge fully and leave the highlights, and then I'll see what क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, आगे कैसे जाना है. So you can see after drying, the wheels and the background have become एकदम same tone. However, वो turquoise blue थोड़ा highlight हो रहा है. तो अभी मैंने एकदम proper black लेके, blue के अंदर काफ़ी black लेके, I'm just indicating wheels so that it looks थोड़ा different. So at times you have to just allow things to dry and then take a call कि क्या करना है. And you don't have to like draw the wheels fully. It's only indicative. इतना भी enough है, right? So this is the beauty of watercolor, that you can then take a decision. And of course I felt और नीचे के area में और थोड़ा dark चाहिए, so I think I've put a line. Yeah, so I've put a line over there ताकि वो just थोड़ा different लगे. And some more details, handle and some lines and shadows. This is a very thin brush. Make sure you use, make sure where the, see where the lines are. ऊपर के line के साथ match हो रहा है. And then there's a curve and then it goes straight down. So make sure you follow that. नीचे और एक line है. So make sure you make all these lines. Also please note, don't give border to everything. मैंने सिर्फ ऊपर ऊपर जहाँ पे मुझे लग रहा है शैडो आ रहा है, ऊपर से लाइट अगर आ रहा है तो वो थोड़ा बाहर निकलता है, उसका शैडो दिया हुआ है. नॉट ऑल द प्लेसेस. प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू डोंट डू दिस मिस्टेक ऑफ एडिंग बॉर्डर एट एवरी प्लेस. Just a few places is enough. Now I'm using the lifting technique where I've just, there's only water on a thin brush and I'm making lines, and then I'm going to use tissue paper to erase those lines, to lift color off. So right now it's not very clear, but if I show you the image, zoomed in image, you will see the lines, and so you will see the texture. उसके अंदर भी थोड़ा वेरिएशंस होता है, तो मैं थोड़ा किधर किधर ब्लैक color patches डाला है between the white lines. At some places you can just add so that it looks, there is some kind of gradation. I mean, I don't have any reason, but it looked good. That's what I felt. For the number plate, I have not written any numbers, actual numbers. You can just do some random scribbling over there. Maybe I've written 0 or 2 or something like that, but the rest is all scribble. And that's about it. Good luck.